All right, welcome everybody. Welcome students. And thank you to the School District of Palm Beach County for being here today with us. My name is Alyssa Hunt. I work for the FAU Career Center, and we are excited to have this career chat today with the School District of Palm Beach County. So I am going to go ahead and throw it over to Kevin, who is going to be our MC for the event. Students, if you have any questions, please feel free to place them in the chat. Otherwise, you can keep your video on, but please turn your audio off so we make sure that the platform runs smoothly. All right, Kevin, take it away.
All right, thank you, Alyssa. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's career chat. We are super excited to be here and to learn why our district is an amazing place to work. My name is Kevin Butanowitz. I'm on the Human Resources team here in the School District of Palm Beach County. I began my career as a teacher and a school administrator impacting high-need schools. And then I transitioned to human resources. And now I get to do a lot of cool stuff around things like process improvement, Lean Six Sigma, leadership and talent development, employee coaching. So we're just really excited to be here today. You're going to learn more about how you can build an amazing career in the K-12 education field. And no matter your major, and then you're going to see why you belong here in Palm Beach County. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we get rolling. We'd love to see your faces. So if you want to pop on your camera, please do that. Keep your audio muted. And if you have one of those cool cat filters or a pirate patch and you want to put that on, you can certainly do that. If we do get any bandwidth issues, we'll ask everybody to turn off their videos. And that way, just the people on the panel will keep theirs on. But we'll let you know. And Alyssa, you cut me off at any point if we have some bandwidth issues. So during the presentation, if you have any questions, you can just type them into the chat box there. And at a few points, we'll bring them up during the presentation. So first thing is this. In the chat box, we'd love to know your major and why you decided to join this session today. So go ahead and enter that in. All right, we see Troy from Criminal Justice. Awesome. Okay, Jody's getting her master's in reading ed. Former news reporter. Wow, that is awesome. I bet you have some stories to tell, huh? Jody, was that local here in Palm Beach County, news reporter, or somewhere else? I'm curious.
It was for the Sun Sentinel newspaper. Yes, so here, primarily in the Broward area.
Wow, super cool.
Thanks.
All right, Idelka looks like psychology major. Awesome. Nick got a bachelor's in English teacher. That makes sense. Jordan, history major. I'm with you there. All right, Sarah getting a doctorate in ed leadership and moving to Palm Beach County area this morning. Wow, wait, you moved here this morning and now you're on. That's awesome.
I mean this summer, I'm sorry.
Oh, summer, gotcha. All right, still cool that you moved and you're here. All right, well, glad to have everybody on. Let's get this party started here. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our distinguished panel here today. And the first person to introduce is Mr. Edwin Michel. He is our amazing Director of Recruitment and Retention here in the Palm Beach County School District. Next to Edwin, we have several colleagues there who also happen to be FAU grads. And so that includes Shannon Armstrong. She is an HR operations manager, given the wave there. We have Dr. David Atwell, Manager of Educational Technology, FAU grad. Dr. Arlene McDermott, HR specialist, also a grad. Kim Pirtle, Manager of Certification, FAU grad. And Richard Chisholm, he is a middle school teacher here in our school district, also a grad. Okay, let's start our conversation with the question that is the focus of our time here today. Why is K-12 education a great industry to make a career in? So we're going to explore 5 myths today about the K-12 education space and what the truth really is. You'll hear from our panelists throughout the conversation. We encourage you to add your questions to the chat and we'll get to them later on in the conversation. So here we go. Myth and truth number one. Our first myth. You have to have an education, undergraduate degree to be in education. So we're going to start with Edwin. Edwin, you weren't an education major. So tell us how you came to Palm Beach County Schools.
Yeah, so thank you, Kevin. So I just want to start by saying it's great to be speaking with all of you today. And I thank you for taking the time to learn more about our wonderful school district and community. I am beyond grateful for making that life-changing decision a few years ago, and proud to be speaking with you about it today. So I grew up here in South Florida as a son of Haitian refugees, and myself and every one of my siblings graduated actually just down the road here from where I'm sitting at Royal Palm Beach High School. I want to say, I won't say what year it was, but those years were instrumental in my life. I have a similar story to many of the students in the school system today, where the education I received here has been instrumental in helping me to overcome the generational poverty inflicted on my family. I was not only the first member of my family to graduate from high school, but the foundational education I received here led me to complete a master's in engineering, a master's in business administration, and finally a master's in educational leadership. This personal and social justice mission is what pulled me back to my hometown and to education in general after a decade as a leader in the corporate sector, where I started as an engineer in the aerospace industry and took on various leadership roles in finance and the pharmaceutical sectors. So in the K-12 space, there's literally a job for virtually every major. As you can see from this slide, from the public sector to the nonprofit and private sector space, there are so many ways you can make an impact on students throughout your career.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Edwin.
Yeah.
We're going to get more into about what it's like working specifically in the school district of Palm Beach County in a few minutes, but I'd like to turn it over to Shannon. Shannon, you're a proud FAU grad. Tell us more about how you came into the K-12 education field. You didn't start in the industry, did you?
No, actually life took me kind of on a grand adventure of sorts. And when I graduated high school, I went on and lived in Europe for a while. And it actually took me about 11 years to graduate. And I did graduate from Florida Atlantic University with a political science degree. But what's so crazy is I was 9 months pregnant with my third child when I graduated. So I want to encourage a lot of you out there that have those bumps and kind of, detours that can happen along your path. I was a stay-at-home mom. I stayed home with my kids while they were babies. And then my husband ended up losing his job. And so we kind of made that soul searching decision of who could get a job first. And it was me. So gratefully, I went to work as an adjuster. So I worked with cars and people and bodily injury and accident investigations. I actually really enjoyed that job. I just knew that in the long term and the big picture, it wasn't something that might be what you would consider sustainable. So I kind of looked at my life and my kids were all in Palm Beach County schools, and I myself, a graduate from Palm Beach County schools, wanted to give back in a different way than I ever have before. So an opportunity came to come on board as an insurance specialist with the school district. And I got the job as an insurance specialist, and very excitingly so. In that job, I then was promoted to claims specialist, which took a totally different kind of career field and was able to work in the workers' compensation field. And then fortunately for me, about a year and a half ago, I was promoted to HR operations manager. In this space, I've had the opportunity to not only pursue more education, where I've got my Juris Masters in HR compliance and legal risk management. I've been able to become a black belt in Lean Six Sigma, as well as focus on innovation. And that's why I think that Palm Beach County is such a great place to work and live. Palm Beach County Schools is always looking for a better way, a process improvement, and just it's just a really great place to live and work.
Thanks, Shannon. That's an incredible story. Thanks for sharing on that. So let's explore our next myth here. You probably know somebody like this. Look at myth number 2. You have to be a teacher for 30 years to be in K-12 education, right? Who's heard that? So you hear a lot about this, but it's definitely not true. Some of us sitting on the panel today started off as teachers and administrators, but have now moved into different areas of our school district. So Arlene, let's hear of your story. You're a proud FAU grad. How did you come into the role now as HR specialist in our school district?
Hi, Kevin, and hello, fellow owls. Yes, I am a proud graduate of FAU. I earned a bachelor's degree in political science right here in Boca. I worked for several years in the private sector as well as government. It was a time period where I was a trainer for customer service at American Express, and I was working the evenings, and a friend said to give back in some ways, perhaps you'd consider becoming a substitute teacher. So I was substituting during the day and training customer service reps in the evening. And then the education bug just bit me. I was all in. Since my degree was in political science, I was able to attain a full-time teaching position as a social studies teacher. And from there, I just grew. I ended up going back to earn a master's degree as well as my doctorate degree. I've served in multiple roles as a social studies teacher, department chair, instructional coach, as well as assistant principal. And there are just many ways for you to grow and many avenues for you to take in the field of education. It's not just about remaining in the classroom permanently. I can say truly that everything that I've done has prepared me for the role that I currently have. Here in Palm Beach Schools, I've been able to work with the district's principal pipeline, where we have developed a talent development system designed to sort of select and grow our leadership. Those are assistant principals and principals, as well as other positions. And I can tell you, there's just, it's just such a wonderful feeling and a wonderful thing to know that you can impact the lives of students, not just in the classroom, but from other avenues within the field of education. So I encourage all of you to consider it.
Awesome. That's amazing, Arlene. You got a lot of experience there. So we're going to kick it over to David. David, it's going to be your turn. We know you're in educational technology, but you were also a former teacher and obviously an FAU grad for a couple of degrees, right? So tell us more about your journey, David.
All right. Hey, team. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. Yeah, I've had a great career over the last 12 years in Palm Beach County. I started off as a 7th grade science teacher. I was an art education major, didn't realize, made sure and got certified in multiple things. So I recommend that to anyone. You know, get as many certifications as you can in as many areas as possible. Taught 7th grade science, loved it. Then when I was in the classroom at Kristen McCullough Middle School, I also taught art, yearbook, intensive math, and then I actually became a dean and got to work one-on-one with that group of students that really needed some additional support and really make an impact with those students. I loved technology and helping teachers learn to use it better, had a bit of a niche in it. And so I was able to actually move over to an elementary school and become a technology resource teacher. Really enjoyed that. Actually only did it for a short period of time, then got hired on for my first administrative responsibility into a career position that I never knew really even existed. It's a career and technical education specialist. So a person who oversees the curriculum for career programs, right? So I oversaw middle school IT and business academies, and I really focused on industry certification, getting kids these credentials, micro credentials, which I'm sure you guys know about and have. And then really enjoyed that job for 3 hired on as the manager of educational technology for the school district, where we've had a really great time getting teachers across the district able to integrate technology into their instruction and oversee all of the classroom technology that we use for instruction. It's a really great gig, work with a great team of teachers, of professional teachers who have become administrators and making good impact in the school district.
That's awesome, David. And so you can just hear all these different, opportunities there are in education as everybody's telling through and walking through their stories. So we're going to go over to Kim now. Kim is our last FAU grad, and she is the teacher certification manager here. And she has a very important role, obviously, in making sure teachers have all the proper certifications to teach. So Kim, did you start off in the classroom? Tell us about your story.
So I am a proud product of the school district of Palm Beach County. And I like to say I grew up in Palm Beach County, literally. Not only did I go to school here, but I was fortunate enough that while I was in college at FAU, I was hired in HR as a temp. I was able to temp while I finished my college degree. And once I graduated with my degree in psychology, I was hired on as an HR technician. And then one of the HR specialists encouraged me to go into teaching because I had not decided yet what I wanted to be when I grew up. I had always tutored math. I liked math. It was one of my favorite subjects. So I started teaching under a social science certificate and worked towards my math certification. While I taught the lowest 25% in ESE inclusion, I completed my master's in educational leadership. I was a math instructional specialist and an assistant principal. When the certification manager position opened up, it seemed like an opportunity for me to go back to my HR family, and it keeps me on my toes. The rules for certification are always changing.
And that they are. Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Really cool to hear. All right, we are going to move on to myth number 3. And this one's a really good one. Everybody's going to love this one. Here's the myth. You can't make a good living in K-12 education. That one is out there, we know. So Edwin, why don't you help us unpack this a little bit? Tell us about the numbers and about the money.
Yeah, Kevin. So the truth is that you can make a great living in our industry, whether in school districts, at the state level, or in private sector. And school districts in particular offer one of the most recession-proof fields anywhere, right? And you can see that going on in real time in our field now while we're hiring. So let's talk about the benefits for public sector K-12 education employees specifically. So here are a few benefits for non-exempt employees, and especially here in Palm Beach. The first is you can become a participant in the Florida retirement system, this is true for education or K-12 in general, but the idea that you can actually get onto a pension plan or a retirement system as robust as the Florida retirement system is unheard of these days outside of our industry. So as you think about your future and the sustainability of creating a retirement plan, this is one of the best deals by far when it comes to any industry. So the second is you can automatically be eligible for district paid leave life insurance. You're also eligible for health, vision, and dental insurance. You can participate in employee assistance program. And then there's plenty of discounts for leisure activities and everyday necessities. And you see them all the time where you see teachers get in here and there for a fraction of the cost sometimes. There's also opportunities for additional compensation and career advancement. And you can't beat the paid time off, especially when it comes to the time that you get in the summer as a teacher, and for all employees, the times that you get during Thanksgiving and for Christmas. It's by far one of the richest paid time off benefits that you'll find. So let me walk you through some of our salaries and compensations. So the first is that, and this is a recent change, right? So this is one of the ways that Florida has changed in general, but the base pay for a starting teacher is $47,500, right? So $47,000. When you combine all of the benefits we just spoke about, you're talking about close to $70,000 for a total compensation package. So this is base, and obviously this is an estimate, but this is where you start off as a teacher. As you start to climb and take on other opportunities or even stay on as a teacher, this is where our salary schedule could actually help you understand what some of those benefits might be. So we will be sharing this teacher compensation calculator specifically, but as you take on various responsibilities throughout the district as a teacher, you can increase that base pay significantly based on things like working at a high need schools, taking on additional activities like coaching and so on. So that base can quickly increase even after the number I showed you here. But in central office and in some high level positions, you can easily make 6-figure salary plus benefits. And these are some of the opportunities as you look at our career site for other opportunities that you can find various benefits in terms of salaries for administrators that that can essentially extend out to these 6 figures bandwidths.
That's awesome, man. I heard a lot of perks there. Heard a lot about the numbers. You know, when I was going into teaching, they told me there's 3 reasons to go into teaching, and that's June, July, and August. So Edwin touched on that one. That's really cool. All right, so let's go to myth number 4. Let's talk about classroom teaching. So here's the myth. Teaching just isn't worth it. It's always exhausting and rarely fulfilling. So we're going to go to Richard. Richard is an actual teacher right now at a middle school. So Richard, talk to us about your experience. And you're also obviously an FAU grad. So is this true for you, Richard?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on today. So part of that is true. It is tiring, but what isn't tiring when you're working all day long? But it is very rewarding. So my story, I started out in Palm Beach County. I went to elementary, middle, and high school there. And then I went over to FAU, graduated in 18, which is 3 years ago now, which is very strange to look back on, but it obviously is very fulfilling of a job to have. I mean, every day just seeing many different students. I think I've got 133 this year. So there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of backgrounds with students, and it's every day is a new day. So not everything's the same as before. And I think I like that going into school every day, knowing that I'm always going to get something different with them. So I chose to become a teacher because I recognize that impact that my teachers had on me growing up, and I felt like I could reciprocate that back to these students as they come up now.
Great. So Richard, just to follow up on that, what kind of impact do you feel, you're really making?
So I feel that I'm making an impact in these students' lives by being able to relate to their struggles. So I've noticed this with a couple of students, and I've been able to help them and motivate them, and I've really seen their work ethic improve, especially this year since we started out virtually. So for instance, in my first period class, as more students came to class and the school year went on, if I didn't say hello or hi to each and every one of them, they would stop in their tracks in the doorway and they would wait for me to say hello or hi, and then they would proceed to sit down. So it's the little things like that that add up over time that make it all worth it.
That's great. Really. Thank you, Richard, for sharing on that. I mean, we can definitely tell, Richard, you're making an amazing impact on those students there at Boca Middle. So. All right, we're going to move on to our last myth here about K-12 education. And the myth is this: you can't really make much of an impact in K-12 education unless you are a teacher. So I'm going to turn to the panel now. Besides Richard, the people on the panel here, you serve in other capacities within our Palm Beach County School District. So what's the truth here? We're going to go to David. Let's go to you first.
Hey guys, that's absolutely not true. One of the reasons that you go into administration is really to make a broader impact, right? You've been at your school, you've gotten the bug, you've worked with individual students in your classes, and you're making an impact there. But sometimes you want to take what you've done and really affect kids across the entire system. And that's what you have the opportunity to do. I've had the opportunity to do 2 district level jobs and make impact across the system in both of them. The first one, when I became a career and technical education specialist, I helped start the really drive the middle school industry certification program and start getting kids these industry certification high level. They can put it on their real resume when they graduate from high school, the micro credentialing and understanding what it is to get industry certifications and make themselves job ready, not just, prepping for college, but also job ready immediately out of high school. And that's I don't know the actual impact on individual lives, but across the system, it's way more than I would have been able to be as an individual in a classroom. Second thing, in my new job as the manager of educational technology, we started the Trailblazer program where we put classroom sets of Chromebooks in front of teachers. And we train. We did that for 3 years, building everyone's capacity to teach with technology, getting an update on all that stuff. And then boom, pandemic hits, everyone's one-to-one, and they've got the skills that they need in order to do phenomenally well during this pandemic and keep the kids where we need to stay with student learning. So I've found it a really, really fulfilling job every step of the way. And I know the next job that I get and the next job that I get with the school district, there'll be great opportunities to have good impact.
Thanks, David. Yeah, absolutely. This last year, man, you made a huge impact for sure in ed tech. So thanks to you and your team. All right, let's go to Shannon now. Shannon, share with us a little bit about the impact you've been able to make in your position.
So I come in from a different perspective because a lot of people are coming in from that education side, but I was able to make an impact in my roles previous to the one I'm in now. As the insurance specialist, I came in as a vehicle accident review committee chair, where whenever a vehicle was involved in an accident and an employee was behind the wheel that was a district vehicle, those accidents had to be reviewed, and we had to determine whether that accident was something that was preventable or not preventable. And then there had to be some discipline associated with it in an effort to really help keep students safe and our employees safe. You know, was it faulty engine or faulty equipment, or was it really a distraction situation? So I really brought to the table some skills in that job as an insurance specialist that were really unique. We also focused on student safety in the risk management department, trying to analyze when an incident occurred, how to not have something like that happen again, concentrate on locked doors, making sure there's single point of entry, a lot of opportunities in that insurance specialist role. When I went on to claims specialist, the impact I was able to make on our employees was huge. My focus was on workers' compensation and really being there for that employee when they got hurt. And part of what I tried to do was to facilitate being able to bring that employee back to work so they didn't have to miss out on all the great things that were happening here, whether we had to accommodate them by providing a wheelchair or maybe making sure that they have access to a specialized desk or whatever they needed so that they could get right back into the classroom, even though they may have suffered some kind of injury. So the impact was great because I knew that I could put that teacher back in front of those students as quickly as possible, as long as it was safe for that employee to do so. So that was really important to us. And now currently as HR operations manager, I'm a huge on process improvement. My goal over here is to really focus on hiring teachers on time. Our focus on that is attracting, matching, placing, and retaining high quality teachers who really follow the values of the school district of Palm Beach County. Our goal really is to ensure that all students have access to highly effective teachers and leaders with a focus on that student that might have the highest needs or, those highest needs schools. I'm so proud to be an alumni of the Palm Beach County School District. I went here from K to 12 and as well as a graduate of FAU.
Absolutely. And I agree with all the impacts that, they've shared here. I work with both, Shannon and David. It's been a lot of fun. I'll just share a quick story on my side. One of the things I've been able to do is do a lot of big conference planning. I know we don't do conferences right now because of what's happened over the last year, but some exciting things I've helped organize, put on big conferences for new teachers. One of the last conferences that was a lot of fun was we got our leaders together in our district and we brought in outside business leaders, Florida Power and Light, a local media company. And it was just really cool to get people together. If you have innovative ideas in education, there's a lot of opportunities here to come and, help, grow the entire education field. So excellent. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take a little bit of a pause. We want to check the chat box there. I know Arlene and Kim have been responding to some questions, but before we move on, Arlene, are there any questions that have come in that maybe we want to share out for the good of the group?
Yes, Shannon, can you tell our students how they can apply for a position with the district?
Sure. If you just go to Palm Beach County Schools careers.org, you can just apply there. That lists all the different careers that are available with our school district. And we'll also be sending out something we call a SMORE. We'll be sending it back to the FAU leadership, and they'll be sending it out to all the people that registered for this event. And that will have all the information and details about any of the links or any of those things that are happening in the chat right now. We'll try to answer all that as well as in this little SMORE newsletter as a follow-up for you guys.
Great. I know a lot of people have been getting a lot of real-time help here, which is awesome. Anything else, Arlene, for the good of the group, maybe to throw out there?
Yes, I think this might be for a certification question for Kim. Kim, do I have to have my teaching certificate before I can apply for a position?
No, you do not. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit, but you do not have to have the actual teaching certificate in hand. what you will have to do is apply to the state. You would have to have graduated and have your transcripts that show your degree conferred. And then we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about that as we go a little bit further in the presentation. So hopefully that'll help you out.
Awesome. All right. Anything else, Arlene?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, let's keep it rolling. There's more opportunities. Pop those questions in there and we'll get you some answers. Okay, we're going to talk next about our school district. Obviously, you want to know more about our district and our county if you're going to be coming here to work. So Edwin, tell us about our amazing district. What's waiting for these FAU grads right here in this county?
Yeah, Kevin. So as you can see with our panelists, we love our FAU grads. So we're so excited to share more about our amazing district and why our district is simply a great place to work and to live. So let me start out by playing a recent video we produced with our employees from across the district that tell the Palm Beach stories by the number. And get that one going.
Can't hear.
Carl, I think it's on mute.
No worries. Sometimes YouTube isn't live. There we go.
Offers it all.
As the second largest county geographically in Florida, our Atlantic shoreline is 47 miles long, nicknamed Florida's Gold Coast.
We boast 110 parks and recreation facilities.
Agriculture is big here. 18% of the country's sugar is produced in our own backyard.
4 Major League Baseball teams call Palm Beach County home for spring training.
The school district of Palm Beach County is A-rated.
With nearly 170,000 students who speak 146 languages and dialects,
making it the 10th largest school district in the nation.
Our school district is the largest employer in Palm Beach County with more than 22,000 employees, including nearly 13,000 teachers.
We are a tech-driven district. We have smart boards in every single classroom.
2,600 of our teachers are Google certified instructors.
That is the most of any district in the U.S.
And each student has a take-home device issued by the district.
Here, we have amazing community support.
We're building a 50 square mile Wi-Fi mesh network
that will deliver free high-speed internet access to 25,000 students.
Our competitive salaries, benefits, and professional development
make the school district of Palm Beach County the place to build a career. Plus, we enjoy a full week off at Thanksgiving. What are you waiting for?
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 Join us today and build your amazing career in education starting now.
Together, we can. Together, we can. Together, we can.
Together, we can.
Awesome. And that video showcases other, opportunities in our district. We have great media. So thank you, Edwin. Next question is this. What drives our district? So why do we do what we do here in Palm Beach County Schools?
Yeah, great question, Kevin. So as you heard in the video, we are the largest employer in Palm Beach County. So that's 22,000 employees that we have across the district. In the school district of Palm Beach County, we are passionate about transformation first and foremost. We're passionate about transforming our classrooms, our teaching practices, our district practices, and the community. That's what's core. So true to our mission, we believe our students deserve a world-class education with excellence and equity to empower them to reach their highest potential. And our teachers and school leaders are our biggest assets. It's something we truly believe because we know they make the largest direct impact to our student achievement. But to make this transformation happen, we've got a team of amazing and dedicated support staff, operations team, and central office leaders, as you've heard with panelists of IT leaders and HR leaders as well. And their mission is to support our educators in schools first and foremost.
Excellent. Thank you, Edwin. Let's talk about that support. Let's talk about the support we provide to our employees, those 22,000. So I'm going to turn this over to the panel. So Shannon, talk to us about professional development for central office employees.
Great question, Kevin. I'll be brief because I know we're all just excited to get this information. But The District Leadership Academy that the school district offers for those of us that are in like what we would consider like the career jobs that are maybe not in the education specific is they offer something called Mighty Mentors, which is really an opportunity to get to know district leadership in a different way and learn how their leadership story, what their path was, how they get to where they are now, and kind of glean some expert kind of ideas and philosophies that'll help you kind of move up or even just grow in your field. Another opportunity, which is amazing, our school district, we follow the Lean Six Sigma methodology. We're really looking constantly at process improvement and really trying to make those opportunities for innovation just part of our everyday work, and really allow for that space for anybody who wants to get better and to do better. And we do provide that opportunity, which is very exciting. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we really are embracing REI, which is really important for us in regards to equity work. And there's a lot of opportunities and training in that area as well.
And Shannon, what does REI stand for?
It stands for
Racial Equity Institute. I can chime in on that one.
Thank you, Arlene.
Absolutely. All right. Very key training. Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate it. We're going to kick it over to Richard there. Richard, out at the schools. Talk to us about supports for new teachers. What do they look like, Richard?
For new teachers, from my experience, I felt that Palm Beach County Schools always supported me right from the get-go. So for example, before the school year even started, this is back in 2019, April 2019, I started substitute teaching at Boca Middle. I saw some comments about people substitute teaching. Do it 100%, get your foot in the door, get to know administration, get to know other teachers. It's the best thing you could possibly do, because the school I started substituting at, they remembered me and I got hired that summer. So it all worked out like that. But both in my first year and in my second year, I attended some very awesome new teacher orientation sessions. It provided me with opportunities to meet fellow teachers, discuss what was going on inside the classroom, what was going on outside the classroom. And in addition to that, I was assigned a mentor named Larissa Baltar at my school. So I worked with her very closely in the first year. I was always in her room asking, what should we do here? What should we do there? Because we both taught the same subject, world history. But with that, I was very thankful to have her as my mentor. She definitely taught me a lot. I definitely learned from everybody else there too. I just bounce ideas off people at staff meetings, or if they teach science, what method worked in science. Maybe we could try it with civics. But I always felt my mentor supported me in various ways, like lesson plans, data analysis, or just getting to know one another. So I was always supported right from the get-go.
Awesome. It's really great to hear, Richard. And you can see one of the logos on there, the Educator Support Program. So excellent. Thank you, Richard. Let's go on back to Edwin. Edwin, talk to us about employee resource groups. What are they and why are they important?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So we are excited about this initiative. Our employee resource groups are district-sponsored, employee-led groups for team members with common interest in issues. They are a pillar of our district's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, as Shannon was referring to, and are a space for networking, professional development, career growth. They're a space to learn from diverse cultures, which is the diversity that exists within our workforce. And they're a way to learn about various other opportunities to engage as allies or member of every other group in our organization. So they're mostly a support network for our employees.
Great. So I just want to thank the panel for some of those answers there. We're going to move to another hot topic here of interest, and this is career growth. So Edwin, what's possible in the school district of Palm Beach County for career growth?
Yeah, so another great question. So when you come to the district, you are not just signing up for a job, you are starting a career. So whenever we talk about this, we talk about a career in education when we discuss opportunities within the district. And most of our current employees have been here for decades, and the vast majority of them have been teachers who currently are lead teachers, principal, IT specialists, financial managers, HR leaders, as I discussed earlier, and you could see within the panel. So this is a common pathway at districts. When you try to go into a district, from a pathway outside of a district and make a lateral move, it's really close to impossible. Not that it's not possible, but that's one of the best ways you can actually get into a district and build a career. So of course you can climb through the teacher career ladder towards becoming a lead teacher, but that ladder is full of many other opportunities in K-12 education. And we have a wonderful professional development team that is ready to help prepare you for that future job of your dream.
Yeah, and I just want to throw in, I mean, we have so many different departments and careers. I mean, so many skill sets that are needed just to like run our district. There's so much on the operations side and business and tech side. So there's really absolutely so many opportunities. So thanks, Edwin. What I really want to say too, and I can attest, we have an amazing team of employees, and I work with a lot of the people here all throughout the different departments and at the schools. And for a lot of people, it really is their dream job. I know it is for me. I have a blast every day working. So we'd love to have the FAU grads on the call today. We really want you to come join us here in Palm Beach County. So Edwin, here's something that they probably are thinking about here. What characteristics or competencies do you look for, Edwin, for employees as they're coming and applying in to get into the district?
Yeah, another great question, Kevin. So our HR partners who are on this call are always looking out for some key traits in an employee. So a few come to mind. The first is, I just mentioned we have a diverse workforce represented of various cultures. So cultural competency is key, right, to connecting to our diverse student population. Also, which is a part that is key to our core value, is possessing a growth mindset. We are a continuous improvement organization. Shannon's mentioned several times this Lean Six Sigma as a framework, and growth mindset is a key way of making sure that you contribute to this culture in a positive way. And you also have to have that strong instructional foundation if you're going to be a teacher. If you are going to be a teacher as well, we expect that you have a high expectation for all of our students, and you have to be in tune with the social emotional learning needs of our students. So for employees in other parts of our district, there's one thing that you'll probably see that's in common with the teachers, and that's that growth mindset again. We're always about learning and becoming better. You also have to have that content expertise. Look to make sure that your expertise matches what's on that job description. Technology use is big, especially during the pandemic. You've seen technology become more important. A desire to make an impact. We are first and foremost an education institute, and it's all about the children. So making impact is key. And you got to be a collaborator. You got to know how to be a part of a team.
Excellent. Thanks, Edwin. So Shannon, we've gotten them, fired up about the opportunities. We want these FAU grads to come and work for us. So what they're probably wondering right now is they're here in the call. What do they do next? How do they go about, getting a job in our district?
Well, I'll briefly just point you to our website, which is palmbeachschools.org/careers. Please go and check it out. And we just would love to have you guys on board. And we'll also be sending out that follow-up SMORE email that we were discussing. We will be sending that to the FAU Career Center, and they will be sending this out to all who have registered for this chat.
Excellent. Love it. One-stop shop. They can go there. All right. We're going to go to Kim now. Kim, our certification manager. Kim, fill us in terms of certification requirements for teachers. What do they need to know?
All right. Okay, so for eligibility for teacher certification, you'll see that there are 3 different pathways, and the Florida DOE says that in order for you to be eligible, you have to have a bachelor's degree or higher, and then you're eligible for a certificate. So the first pathway is via your degree major. An example would be if your degree is in mathematics, then you would be eligible for math certification. A lot of you have degrees that are translating to social science certification, and I've mentioned that in the chat. A non-example would be is if your degree is in criminal justice. Don't worry, Troy, I have a solution for you. Then your degree does not crosswalk with Florida DOE degree majors, and you would need to pursue another alternative for being eligible for certification. And that may be by a course-by-course evaluation. Maybe you took a lot of math classes, so you could be a math teacher, or maybe by passing a Florida Teacher Certification Exam. We call it the FTCE, subject area exam.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kim. So this was very helpful. We know that you probably have a lot more, specific questions. So you can always reach out to our HR Customer Care Center, and the link is there. We have people on call that can answer some of those questions for you. All right, so before we end our time together, let's answer some questions and get some answers from our panelists. So Arlene, what's going on in the chat box over there? What we need to put out here to the group?
Hi, Kim, I think this is a certification question. One of our students want to know, do they have to be certified to be a substitute, or what is the criteria?
You do not need to be certified to be a substitute teacher. You do have to have a minimum of 30 semester hours. I'm going to say that's right. 30 semester hours. I know we've had different conversations about changing that. So that's where you would want to be. 30 semester hours will allow you to start subbing. You would want to apply to the substitute posting, which is through the school district website.
All right. What else, Arlene?
I'm not sure if we're going to be able to answer this question at this time, but one of the students want to know if they have experience in higher ed teaching, would that count as years of experience for the district for pay?
I might be able to answer some of that, and we may have to talk separately, and you can always email me. But depending on what the higher education experience may be, if it was teaching, then one, we could possibly use that towards your teaching certification, and that is a great route to get to your professional certificate. If it was something that was a little bit different, then we may have to talk, and I may have to refer you to compensation. But there are some different types of jobs in the district too, where that would also give you credit. So it's not even just in the teaching realm, but you may have some opportunities elsewhere. But you can definitely email me, and I can make sure I put you in contact with the right people for that one.
Right, Arlene, anything else there?
Yes, I have one that I think may be for Richard. Richard, one of our students want to know, what has been your biggest reward as a teacher with regards to your students?
My biggest reward, I think, I've only been teaching, this is my second year right now, so I haven't been doing it too long, but my biggest reward was at the end of the year last year when everyone was virtual, and I was getting a couple emails from students thanking me for a great year and how much they enjoyed it. I teach civics, so it's not always the most interesting thing to a 12 and 13-year-old to know the differences between the Florida Constitution and the United States Constitution. But getting those messages at the end of the year saying how much they enjoyed the class and how much they like coming to school, that was the most rewarding thing to me.
Awesome. Love it, Richard. All right. You've heard a lot of great information today. I want to leave you with this. In Palm Beach County, we are defying expectations about what our students can achieve. We're changing our public school system to ensure all students are successful. And you can help come make that happen. K-12 education is an amazing place to grow your career. So we want you to come join us. Together,
we can.
That's right.
We can.
We can.
Absolutely. Everybody did it better in the video, so maybe we need to do another cut on that. We really want to thank everyone for being here. Look for a follow-up email with additional information. And I think I'll send it back to you, Alyssa, or we're going to send them out.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here today and sharing such great information with our students. I really enjoyed the presentation, and I'm sure they did as well. Students, you will be receiving a follow-up email from me with the information that the district has promised, so be on the lookout for that to come through Handshake. Additionally, we are hosting our Careers in Education Fair this Wednesday from 2:30 to 6:30. It will be a virtual event. So please check out Handshake to see the link to register for that. And the School District of Palm Beach County will be there and ready to chat with you all one-on-one if you have any additional questions. So again, all team members of the school district, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today and for sharing all of your stories. And students, have a happy Monday. We'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Alyssa.